Wow, I haven't done that in a while. Hey, everybody. Sorry about that muting. I haven't done that in a while, and I haven't streamed in a while, and that's why I am streaming now on a Thursday for a Wednesday comics. It's been a crazy week, and most of my week has been taken up with family stuff. I think I had mentioned to you guys last week I had some family in town, my folks in town, a couple other relatives from all over in town, all converging here, hanging out with us here. And I turned into designated driver, Uber coordinator for the whole family. and it was nutso. But I just dropped off everybody at the airport this morning and took a deep breath and then realized, like, holy cow, we are so far behind in streaming land, in YouTube land. Not that it takes priority, but, you know, it's important to kind of keep it consistent, and it's something I love to do on a weekly basis. So that's why I'm streaming today. But lo and behold, everybody else is streaming today. I don't normally stream on Thursdays, so that's probably why I'm totally off schedule, off your guys' radar. So I apologize if you have to make some tough choices. It's okay. If you can, just hit that like before you go, because that'll help in the long run. And I have to be more conscious about telling people to like the stream at the beginning, because I always say it at the end, and by that time everybody's out there like, all right, see you later, peace. I know most of you guys hit the like, but anyway, just been conscious, or trying to remind myself to tell people to hit the like at the beginning of the stream while I have you here, captive audience, because that will help everything. We are at 343 subscribers, which is amazing. Even though I hadn't been streaming in the last few days, you know, it started ticking up again and getting a few new subscribers here and there. So I'm super excited. We are 7 away from 350, which is 157 away from 500. We are on our way, folks. It's really crazy, and the train keeps on rolling. But anyway, I'm really glad that some of you guys are here already. I'd say the priority of this stream is just to catch up and, you know, start the streaming train rolling again. But on top of all the logistics and running around with my family that I had to do the past 5-6 days, I did get to hit a couple of new comic book stores, which is why I'm here, and it actually gives me some content to share with you guys, because I was not in the city. I was kind of running around all parts of down the peninsula for the most part. And so that exposed me, or gave me opportunities to visit a couple stores that I had never been exposed to before. And so that's really awesome. And I have a lot to tell you guys about that in a second. But as it's stated in the description, I think, yes, I called it the Dollar Bin Bonanza. Today, which is not technically Wednesday, it's Thursday, but this is gonna count for my Wednesday comics of this week, which is why I put the date of October 2. I'm not misdating it. I am misdating it, but on purpose. I'm going to talk about, instead of the new books I got this week, which I only got 2, I think. I'll carry those over to next week. The books that I'm going to talk about today are from the Dollar Bin, because the 2 stores that I visited this past week, the 2 new stores that I visited, both had dollar bins that I could rifle through. And that was really, really fun for me, because not all stores have them. Some of the stores in the city have them, but I've kind of gone through most of them, and they don't get replenished that often. So, you know, once you go through the bins, you pretty much find what you would normally, or what interests you, and you get it. And then if you go back and check it the next week, it's the same stuff, so you don't really find anything new. But these I had never visited before, looked in their dollar bins, and they had a lot. So I got quite a bit of stuff, and it's all over the map, all sorts of mishmash stuff, but all some fun stuff. And it will be really fun to kind of go through them with you guys today. So that's the plan, Dollar Bin Bonanza on a Thursday for my Wednesday comics, interrupting everybody's streams. Oh well, that's where we're at. Comrade Sammy, how are you doing, Comrade Sammy? Why you gotta stream now? I just explained it. I was gonna watch Katie. Darn it, I apologize, Katie. You guys can jump into her chat and say that I apologize for streaming now. But you know what? This streaming world, it's big enough for the both of us. It's big enough for all of us. We can't possibly avoid each other so much. But feel free to jump back and forth. I love Katie's streams. I think she's doing, I just peeked. I think she's doing a drawing stream right now, which is awesome. That's another thing that I have to get back to is my Eisner page. Haven't touched that since the last stream. But what was fun was being able to show that to my relatives that came, trying to explain to them what I'm doing and showing it to them. And one of my uncles who visited, he is really into comics as well. And when I was a little kid, there was a period of time where he had visited us quite a bit. And we would just kind of totally geek out about comics. So it was kind of fun now as an adult and him coming, and I haven't seen him in a while, just showing him this comic thing, explaining him about YouTube and how it works with comics. He was pretty fascinated, so it was awesome. Emo Trash, what's up, Emo Trash? Lots of derailing to be had today. Maybe you can derail me and Katie at the same time and we can crash at a meeting point. How about that? He said, of course you start streaming after I've already done my project, which that's good, right? Or you want to be working on your project while I'm streaming? You can start another one maybe? Yeah, maybe move on to another one. That would be good. That would be good. What's up, Mark's Music Obsession? Where are you? Sorry. Hey everyone. Hey Rocky, Katie is streaming. Hopefully she will stop. Hopefully she will stop. We don't want her to stop on behalf of, you know, me streaming, but I can see how it can be confusing and can tear people. It's okay. Really. Go where you need to go. Jump around where you need to go. Just hit that like, because that's awesome. Although I do love it when you guys are here, but jump around. It's okay. We can handle it. She only just started streaming, so we're going. And so is Gothix. Well, you know what? I don't know Gothix personally. She's got a huge following. So I don't mind if you skip her out for me. That would be awesome. Sir, you are the one that's a day late. I know I am. I was really thinking tomorrow. I thought yesterday, Wednesday, I'd have more time to myself. Like I'd drop my family off in a certain location. It would be like a chill day because it was their last day together. And I could like escape, maybe come back home, stream. But it ended up being even crazier, running around some last minute errands for everybody. And, but that's where I discovered one of the shops I went to. So it was good and bad, but then it took away from my streaming time. So yes, I am a day late, but my heart was here on Wednesday. I'm torn here. It's okay, Mark. It really is. I refuse to choose. You could have both windows open. That's how the youngins do it. The Gen Zs, Millennial Gen X's. I don't know. That's how they do it. They got multiple windows open. They overcommit to everything. They don't make a decision. That's how they do it. So we can do it that way. There you go. Watching both. That works. Emo Trash, she says she's committed to Rocky, working at Adobe in the background, and too many voices would be overwhelming. Fair enough. Tell that to the other voices in my head. There was a purpose for catching you during my charcoal drawing, but I've already just picked a frame from another one of your streams anyway, because I kind of remembered I have that option. There you go. Picked a frame from another one of your streams. Are you drawing the frame from a stream? Okay. I have both on now, Rocky. And are both of them, Mark, are both of them closed captioning? Did Katie follow the instructions to do closed captioning? Is your mom watching both of them? Is that confusing for Mark's Music Obsession's mom? Decisions. It was just a bowl. It was a crowded, not crowded. It was a week of crazy decisions. Just sharing with my wife and my sister and my cousins about this side of the family. They think, they overanalyze, and they just process things like to the 2000th degree. Like they're constantly seeing the sides of all coins and when you get a lot of them together, it's just like, they're like just trying to figure it all out all the time. and yet none of them could really do anything about stuff. They couldn't drive. They couldn't really make a decision. They get paralyzed with it. They call it analysis paralysis. It's kind of how that side of the family is. But the cool thing is on that side of the family, I literally have a uncle who is a grandmaster in chess. So that makes sense with the analysis. And then I have some brilliant like doctors and mathematicians on that side of the family. So it all kind of makes sense. But when you put them in the same room making a decision about what to eat or where do you guys want to hang out, that decision gets extended for hours until somebody like me who has kind of the control just goes, okay, we're going to do this. Like, let's go here. You guys good with that? All right, let's go. Get in the car. But it was kind of crazy. Look who's here. I'm here. That's really all that matters.
This is Adam. Hey.
Adam's here. What's up, Adam? How are you doing? Glad that you are here. It really is all that matters, Adam. You are the first by name and by mattering. No. All equal here. Unhinged. What's up, Jason? You go live when I'm at work often, swinging by to hit the like. Thank you, sir. You know what, Unhinged? Jason, I got to work on you and Timmy Mello are kind of on my list of next sound effects to go. But yeah, I kind of I don't know. I think you have more of a regular schedule than I do, or kind of a predictable schedule than I do. So I apologize that you're at work while this is going on, but I appreciate the like. See, that's how you do it, folks. That's how you do it. Just swing in, hit the like, move on if you have to. Emo Trust says, this week we're doing portraits, and with how you set your camera, it's... Girl. Don't tell me you're drawing my face for a portrait. That is frightening, and I might have to shut this down. That is frightening. Yes, both have CC. Yes, but she is watching you. Katie's on the iPad. Oh, nice. I'm glad to hear that Katie's got the closed captioning going. That is awesome. But I will miss having her here. Maybe I should pop into her stream. Is that going to be weird? Let me try it. We can do anything here. I'm going to pop into her stream, into her chat. Oh, gosh. What's up, Katie? She'll be like, wait, what? All right. There we go. I just popped into our chat. Oh, you know what I should do? Because I've just been preaching it this whole time, I'm going to like her chat too. I didn't do that. I mean, like her stream too. But I didn't do that. Here we go. See, I'm courteous. I'm doing it. All right, cool. There we go, Katie. Like for you. Like for you as you're streaming at the same time. Katie wants me to tell you she'll be here after her stream. Aw, yeah, that's sweet. Tell her if I end first, I'll be on hers. So now it's a race to who gets there first. Okay, even though I'm not supposed to draw from screens or pictures, I don't exactly have friends to ask for favors. Emo trash. Can't you draw your mom or draw your boy? Draw your pets? Come on now. Drawing me is... I'm going to put on my chapstick now. Got to make sure my hair is okay. Oh, no, you said you were doing another frame. All right. But still, it's kind of frightening. It's going to be a weird portrait, but I'd love to see it if you end up doing it. You're going to have an overwhelming amount of sound effects. It's true. As I have an overwhelming amount of mods, but you know what? I take it as a compliment, and each one of you guys is just going to be a sound effects. It's going to turn into a sound effects stream. I'm just going to be like DJing the sound effects as each one of you pop in. It'll be cool. It's already been done, Rocky. It's too late. Dang it. Hemo. All right, now you got to show it. You got to show it. Because I have a copyright to my face. So you got to show it. Because I suck, it doesn't look like you. Not that I figure my professor would know anything about you anyway. Probably not. But all right, Whatever. Timmy Mello, what's up? Hail my lads and gals. Been a while. Also, I'm traveling, so I may be in and out for the next hour. What's up, Timmy Mello? I was just saying I still need to work on your sound effect, my friend. But congratulations on your team making it to the postseason. You must be super psyched about that. Did you see the announcement about my team? Huh? New president of baseball operations, for those of you who follow baseball. Buster Posey, one of the most decorated, awesome players of all time with the Giants, San Francisco Giants. He is now the president of baseball operations. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I think it's a good move for them, but you know, you never know with these things. I think everybody's psyched. Everybody loves Buster Posey. He's revered in these parts, and he knows baseball for sure. So yeah, we'll see. That was the big news for us because we're out of it. We're not competing anymore. So we have to grab our news, our baseball news where we can. But Timmy Mello's still in it. His team's still in it. You're going to break a strange barrier, Rocky. I have a second channel, Big Boy Burgers. That's how I'm doing both streams. You have a second channel, Big Boy Burgers. That's how I'm doing both streams. Yeah. Is that your channel or that's another channel you're watching? Because that's 3 channels. But Big Boy Burgers, that sounds awesome. Is it about burgers? I didn't eat lunch yet, and I'm not going to eat lunch probably for another, I'm guessing, couple hours. So dang it, Mark. I'm going to get hungry. Oh, yes. Yeah. It is. It's going to be weird, but you know what? The weirder we can make it, the better. It'll make it all... I've said this before, guys. One of my mottos in life as I've gotten older is you got to embrace the awkward. So the more awkward I can make it for you guys and for Katie, the better. I've already asked my boy, he's coming over tomorrow. Okay, good. Had to do myself and 2 other people this week. I did myself first because that was the worst. You know what? It's part and parcel of going to art school is doing self-portraits. So just get used to it. That's get used to the awkward. Just embrace it, emo trash. It'll be all right. Buster Posey's still a shock. He only recently retired and then already moved up the corporate side of the game on record time. Guy's a great leader and player. He is. And he actually moved away from San Francisco. He moved to Georgia to be closer to family after he retired. And it was all this huge, sad thing. He was going to spend more time with his family. And then he moved back up here when things weren't going that well with the Giants, became part of the ownership group. And now because our past president of baseball operations, Farhan Zaidi, kind of flubbed it at the end there, that Buster Posey got elevated into this huge role, which is very different from being a player. But if anybody can do it, like you're saying, Timmy Mello, as a leader, like he was a respected leader, not only for the team, but for the organization and just in the community. So if anybody can pull it off, that guy can. I respect him a lot. I think he's an outstanding dude and just a phenomenal player. So yeah, we'll see. It's kind of exciting, actually. I will not get used to it. Drawing yourself, you got to. You just gotta embrace it. Don't even do pictures when I know I can avoid it. I'm not photogenic in the slightest. Says you. We all, whoops, sorry, my water bottle stuck to the bottom. We all feel that way about ourselves. I don't know many people that are like, I look awesome. I love pictures of myself. I guess that's like the Instagram generation. I guess they do. But at the end of the day, we all hate the way we look. That was a big barrier of me starting YouTube, was like seeing my face on camera all the time. I was like, ugh, like I'd rather just have a profile picture up there or just see my hands. But you know, you get used to it, kinda, sorta, not really. Still don't like the way it looks, but yeah, you just kind of get used to it. So if I can do it, you can do it, emo trash. I have the same introverted, artistic voices in my head. You can get used to it. John, what up, John?
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
John, I don't even know how you're making a decision to be here because there's way too many streams that you are involved with. Not only that you attend, that you are involved with, that are going on right now. So gracing us with your presence is amazing. Thank you for being here, John. Always good to see you. John says, I'm sure Awesome One feels awesome about his picks. He's going to come in here. Adam says, I don't know, I'm pretty handsome. There we go, Adam. That's amazing. Love the confidence. What's up? Oh, wait. Whoops, I clicked the wrong one. What's up, Sean? That's my buddy. Shanth is another one who thinks he looks awesome too, right, Shanth? Shanth loves the way he looks, and he's always telling me how handsome he is. So he's another one. We got to learn from these people. We got to learn from them. See, Shanth, super popular. It's been my entire life, and my mom is still the same way. Your girl ain't growing out of this one. All right, fair enough. Sean saying hey to people. Yep, John had to make a decision. No jumping around for me. John, wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you for making that decision, and all of you for being here. I'm so happy to see you guys on this off streaming day for me. I'm so happy to see you guys, just to reconnect with reality. You know how it is with family. I love being with my family. I don't get to be with this side of the family all together as often as I would like. They all live all around the country, all around the world. And so I don't get to see them all together, and they come from a big family. And so to have a lot of them together, there's just this kind of chemistry, and you can see the different, you can see, I don't come from a very big family. I don't have that many siblings. But this side of the family, there's quite a few siblings. And so just to see that dynamic like kick in when they're all together is really fascinating. It's just like a social study, just to kind of see, like a human study, just to watch it happen and just to kind of see it happen in real time. And how they interact with me is all different. They all have different personalities. And I have different relationships with each one because I know some of them better than the other. So it was really fun. But as you all know, being around family could be exhausting after a while. And it's good to get back into your other daily routine. Get back into the YouTube family that I have. So awesome to see you guys. Okay, let's see. Mark's Music Obsession says, Adam, I'm trying to chat on 2 streams. Wow, double typing. Shanth, Pizza Live tonight. Oh, is there a Pizza Live tonight, Shanth? Pizza Live is tonight, everybody. Check out Shanth and Jetty Art's Pizza Live. I think most of you guys already go anyway. But Shanth does Thursday night streams. I did remember that. He does a weekly stream called Pizza Live. So subscribe to his channel to get that notification. But it's a fun time where Shanth will watch a older movie, usually copyright free. I don't know, right, Shanth? But he's able to watch it. He'll stream it and watch it, and then everybody's kind of commenting while they're watching it. So it's really fun time. There's been some great movies. I haven't gotten to catch every episode, but I've caught a number of them, and they're just really fun. The chat kind of spirals out of control at the end, but it's hilarious, and it's a good time, and it's just fun to watch old movies. Not that were made decades ago, just to see the kind of filmmaking and the acting and the stories that they tell. It's just really fun and inspiring. So I love that Shanth does that, and check it out tonight. Katie figured out how to pull comments on screen with OBS. No StreamYards, no Ecam. Wow, she uses OBS. OBS is no joke. For those of you who are not familiar with streaming technology, OBS is a free to use program that works on both PCs and Macs, and I explored it quite a bit when I was starting this thing, and it gives you pretty much the power to do so many different things and customize to your heart's content. But it's a little bit much, and you gotta have some kind of technological know-how to like put all the pieces together and get it all working, and get your camera set up working with the mic and all that kind of stuff. StreamYard is the most simple, I'd say, the easiest onboarding, and makes it super easy to like figure out, which is great when you're just starting. I love Ecamm because it has higher quality stuff, a lot of great customization, which I love doing, and then it's Mac based, and so it works really well with the Mac ecosystem. But yeah, OBS is just like, I know a lot of like Twitch streamers, gaming streamers use that, and they go bananas with what they do on OBS. So that's awesome that she's using OBS. That's more than I could do. Yes, Pizza Live. Mark's super excited. Comrade Sammy says, I didn't make a decision. I'm jumping between Katie and Rocky. That is a decision. That's a decision in of itself. Oh yeah, Mark's music session said Katie arrives in 10 days. Hopefully the weather will be typical for October. So an added complication of everything that was going on with my family was it was stinking hot here. We were in the 80s, 90s, and hit triple digits where I was yesterday. And it was way too hot. It was like a dry heat, so it really like felt like you're burning your skin off a little bit when you stepped outside. It was super hot. So if you can imagine older generation people having to be carted around and getting them in and out of the car and running them on errands and getting them to places they want to go sightseeing in the heat, it was it was a lot. It was a lot, but we had a good time. Got a lot of great pictures, a lot of great memories. But yeah, it is hot. So, and then you guys just had the storm, right, Mark? I mean, I know it didn't hit you or affect you that much, but yeah, hopefully the weather will be chilled out when Katie gets there. But that's exciting. I really do hope that one of you guys, Katie or Mark, that you guys stream when you meet up, because that would be, talk about breaking the YouTube universe. That would be so cool to see happen, and it would just be awesome to just see you guys doing that. So hope you have a good time. I'm excited to hear how it goes and what you guys do, and it should be a good time. John says, I don't need schizophrenia. I don't, and neither does that other guy in my head. I probably qualify for several things in the DSM manual, John. Just kidding. I'm way too boring and normal. Timmy Mello says, I finally have a bit more time to get another sketch going on my Instagram page. It will be a head sketch on Akuma from Street Fighter in his Street Fighter 6 updated look. That's so specific and awesome. I just have to perfect his beard mane. That sounds cool, Timmy Mello. Definitely let us know how that goes. I'm sure you will post on Instagram, but I can't wait to see that. OBS isn't hard to use. It just has a dated UI. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just seemed a lot complicated. Like you're kind of behind the weeds. Maybe it's like I'm too spoiled with the Mac ecosystem where things are pretty clean and straightforward with how to use it. I feel like OBS is more like a PC, Android user. Like you have all the tools and you just kind of have to put them all together. I don't know. Ferris Comics is here. What's up, Ferris Comics? Good to see you, as always. Emo Trash says, I was about to say, that can't qualify for hot. It was hot. It was really hot. It's the dry heat. I'm going to say it's the dry heat. I know you guys, some of you guys are living in like extreme heat all the time, but it was pretty bad for here. Do a stream with Katie, Mark. Yes, Katie's planning on streaming while here. That would be awesome. Coffee time for John. Sounds good. Keep mentioning the weather. You keep sending me back to that storm that's already formed out in the Atlantic. I mean, the stuff that was... So most of the people that I knew that was in the pathway were like the Florida side. And at least all the people that I knew in Florida didn't really get affected that much. But seeing what happened to like North Carolina and that area, holy cow, that was really bad. Become a Cat 2 like I thought it would. Okay, what is the average temp there this time of year, Mark's Music Obsession? Yeah, what does October weather look like for you, Mark? Ferris Comics, weren't you saying, were you in Tennessee? Do I remember? Did you get affected by the weather? Yeah, it just looked really, really crazy there. Okay, so I think I caught up. Not too bad. Yes, it was bad in Western North Carolina. Really bad. Like, I saw a video of like houses being swept by the water. Like, it wasn't just like debris. It was like full on houses. Kind of crazy. And it's just this rain. Like, I guess, yeah, you imagine hurricane winds or like Wizard of Oz, kind of like tornadoes or whatever, but just the amount of rain was frightening. You guys know how I feel about rain. Definite PTSD looking at that stuff. Based on the jet stream, I don't see it reaching land anywhere, at least at the moment. Okay, good. Wow, I know you were weather tracking before, but storm chasing, is it? It is bad in Western North Carolina. It's still going on. Do you guys know, is it still going on? It's weird when you see those kind of disasters. I think this is with anything in the news, and you see something that is so counter or so different from what you're experiencing where you are. So, for example, horrible storms, rains, and whatever. And here it's like just hot, and it's like, is that really happening? Like, I can't really connect with what's happening, or like, the wars right now, all the stuff going on in the Middle East, all that kind of escalating, and like here we're just like, oh, elections coming, and we're in a heat wave, and homeless people are downtown, but it's so different. It's like crazy. I think it's hard because we have so much available in real time now across the world. Speaking of like Katie streaming now and all that kind of stuff, like she's in the UK, guys, streaming at the same time as me in California, and we have the same, similar audience, an overlap in audience. How weird is that? But yeah, I think just because everything is so real time and available now, I don't even think our brains were really meant to handle the information overload that we're given on a daily basis. It's kind of bananas. Mark's Music Obsession says average temps range from upper 50s. Well, that's not hot at all. That's kind of like here. Low 60s to high 70s, maybe up to 80. Wow, that's going to be really nice. Really, really pleasant. Lovely. It's time for weather with meteorologist Emo. Nice. You need to. I didn't watch that movie Twisters, the sequel, but I heard it wasn't that good. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole thing, right, with storm chasing and just a whole like adrenaline rush / hobby of doing that. Yeah, I agree. It's nice temperatures. Ferris Comic says, I am in Tennessee, near Knoxville. Some damage and flooding, nothing like Northeast Tennessee on the North Carolina border. And of course, North Carolina. Well, glad to hear that, Ferris Comics, that you're okay. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's like in an instant, these kind of crazy things happen. And I was listening to NPR just the other day. It's like, it sounds like the community is coming together to like rally around people in damaged neighborhoods. But to be honest, and kind of going through a few floods myself, like it's a long process, especially when you're dealing with like government aid or insurance or whatever, and like just recovering anything you can recover and digging through all that stuff and realizing what you lost. Like you grab all the things that you think are important, but then you realize much later, oh geez, I just lost that. Like, this is to a lesser degree, but like there was a lot of comic books, not to, say that it's like as important as what some of these people are losing right now. But I lost a lot of comics in that first and second flood of mine. Some in the third flood too, which are irreplaceable. And it was just like, I never realized until I started doing this YouTube stream and kind of going back into comics and looking at my collection again. I was like, oh geez, what happened to XYZ book? And I realized like, I must have lost that in the flood. And at the time, you're just not even thinking about it. You're just thinking about the super important things that are in front of you. And then when you have like, one of the worst things about going through these floods was like so this is not where I thought this stream was going, but I'll give you guys a little bit of insight of like how flood damage goes. Like when it happens, you're in shock. And you're dealing with probably police or firefighters as they're making sure everybody's safe and blah, 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 blah. And then you have to get in contact with whether the whatever local authorities or government, if they send them, or you have to contact them, but you have to find people who, companies that deal with flood damage, like, what do they call it? It's not conservation, but there's a certain name for these companies that this is their specialty. They deal with fire, they deal with floods, all these kind of disasters. And then they come to your house and they all have their whole setups. They have like portable dryers, like air dryers, dehumidifiers, and they're these huge fans and machines that are like really noisy. And they have to come in and they have to like cut out your drywall. So it's like this destruction of your home, because the big concern is like you don't want water to get trapped and mold to grow, and it happens very quickly. So they have to like open up your walls and make sure everything's dry in the walls, and they're blowing these blowers all the time. And then all the stuff that was touched by the water, they basically gather it all together in bags, and they'll either take it to a warehouse or put it in your garage if you have space. And you have to start sifting through this stuff to see what it is you want to try and keep. Most of it, depending on the type of flood, like the water is contaminated, and so you don't even want to touch it. But sometimes we've had one experience where they took it to the warehouse and they kind of laid it out on all these tables, and they tried and dry as much as they can, salvage as much as they can. And you kind of have to walk through these tables and go, oh, here's my wedding photos, or oh, here's my tax documents. And they'll be like in various state of dry or not dry, or damage or not damage. And it's kind of traumatic. Like you come off the high of, or the adrenaline of the shock of the disaster, and then you have to process like your stuff. What is valuable, what's not valuable, and is it worth keeping? Is it worth trying to salvage? And that's when you make hard decisions of like, you know what, that's totally ruined, I got to let it go. Or it's a one of a kind thing, but there's nothing I can do. It's like totally let go. So that happened a lot. Like I lost a lot of at the time I had more CDs at that time. I lost a lot of CDs and books and photos and artwork. And yeah, I lost a lot of artwork that was like sketchbooks from college that I'll never get back. It was super traumatic. And that's like, months down the road, and then they're cataloging everything. They're sending you photos of stuff, and then you have to declare all that stuff for insurance if your insurance going to cover any of it. And then you got to argue with insurance of like, you know what, that book is a one-of-a-kind book, and here's the proof that I can't get it anywhere else. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. It was crazy. So just to see the disaster is one thing, but the aftermath of like the recovery and rebuilding your life after that is a whole other box, a whole other can of worms that we don't necessarily see from a distance. And so, yeah, it's pretty devastating. Let me see. Sorry to go off on that tangent, but that was kind of my experience. Twister didn't need to be remade. I haven't seen it either. No way it was as good. Yeah, it couldn't have been as good as that first one. The before and after images of North Carolina is staggering. It absolutely is. I-40 down there is completely destroyed, as is part of the landscape. Yeah. A lot of artists are in Asheville area too. I'm not sure much art was lost. I'm sure much art was lost there too. Crazy. Mark's Music Obsession says, having lived through a major tornado myself, they are horrible. Unlike hurricanes, they give no warning. I know that the people that are part of the company, it's not conservation, it's not preservation, it's something like that. But they were telling me, like, you get to know them because they're in your house, they're in your business, in your stuff for days on end, trying to help you recover. And I mean, usually they're super helpful and very respectful, but you get to know them. Like, it's like you wake up at 8 a.m, they're at your house starting to like catalog all the crap. And they were telling us they did both fire and water damage. And they were just saying how both are very equally destructive, but like fire damage, all the smoke, the smell is impossible to get rid of. And, you know, with fire, obviously it's like very destructive. But with water, water gets into everything very quickly. And it's hard to avoid water damage. Like, and it's really bad for books and paper products and clothing and all that kind of stuff. So each one has its own headache. And they've seen it all, you know, working in the business that they do. So it's kind of crazy. Listening to chat be all somber about hurricanes and tornadoes, and I'm the weird that's completely fascinated. I could see that. You know, it's not one or the other. It's just like experiencing it versus like observing it. Totally different. But it's okay, emo trash. We know you. I really am that weirdo. No, you're not. We derailed the chat. I derailed the chat this time. So John says, okay, I went back. When and where did you get flooded, Rocky? So first flood was 2013. It was like a huge water main break busted it was a freak accident and just flooded our neighborhood that we were in. Then the city came and fixed it. And then 8 months later, we had a freak storm come. And they said they fixed they redid the pipes. They're like, you guys are good, blah, blah, blah. And we rebuilt our house. And then 8 months later, there was a freak flash flood in the middle of the night that flooded us again. So it's kind of crazy because we had just gone through it. It wasn't as bad, but it still destroyed the same amount of thing. And it destroyed the stuff that was all new. At the same time, we were still kind of fighting with the city and insurance companies and blah, 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 blah. So it was like a double whammy. And then we had to do the whole thing again. And then in 2019, we thought like that was like 2013, 2014, I think, or 2015. And then we went a few years like through storms and rainstorms and like we were okay. And we're like, oh, is it better now? Is it fixed? Like, ooh, you know, we're over that. It's not going to happen again. And then December 2019, right before COVID, like the year before COVID, there was another, like they called it 100-year storm that happened. And that happened during the middle of the day. The other two were in the middle of the night while we were sleeping. This one happened in the middle of the day and totally flooded our house again a third time. That one was really traumatic, actually, because we were awake and there was nothing we could do to stop it. To see it happen in real time, like in front of you, was frightening. And so then it flooded again, and that was the third time. And I was like, I gotta leave this location. I can't do this again. I'm going to go crazy. So yeah, it was pretty traumatic. Three times was the charm. I imagine fire damage is similar, fire and flood damage. Yeah, I can't imagine having to deal with both. Just really, really sad. Rocky streams now to document all the things he owns for insurance claims. Maybe that's it. We have a real life document right in front of us. That's actually a good idea. Mark's Music Obsession says, Katie is ending? Oh, okay, Katie. One stream now for all of you who are straddling the streams. Glad I only have to pay attention to one stream now, Comrade Sammy says. Yes. John, I hope no tornadoes soon around here compared to living in Tornado Alley. They should be much more rare. I used to live in Huntsville, Alabama, and I moved there not right after, but after they had that huge tornado that tore through the area. And I know a lot of people were affected by it, and I knew some people who had like siblings that lost their lives in it, but I didn't experience a hurricane myself, so I don't want to. Floods are enough for me. I've been through earthquakes, floods. I have not been through a fire or tornadoes. I don't need to go through any of those. I'm here now. Can you start again? Oh, Katie. What's up, Katie?
Say cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
No. A cup of tea.
Katie, I'm so sorry I started streaming during your stream. I hope that didn't disrupt anything, but knowing these guys and from the chat, they were jumping back and forth like good chat friends do. So, but yeah, I'm sorry if I interrupted your stream, but I did jump in and like it and drop you a comment. So hopefully that made up for it. To get smoke smell out of your hair, get a 2 liter of generic cola, dump it in your head. Then what? Where did you learn that? That's like the getting a skunk smell by bathing in tomato juice kind of thing. Get a 2 liter of generic cola, dump it on your head. I don't know if I'd want to do that. You know what's in Coke? That can't be good for your hair, right? Yeah, it'll get the smoke smell out of your hair, but it'll also like give your hair diabetes. Hey again, Katie. Oh, it's great to see Katie here. Cup of tea, hashtag. Long time no see, Katie. Katie, are you excited about your trip? We were just chatting with Mark about it. Seems like the weather hopefully will be great while you're there. It sounds like a wonderful, wonderful temperature while you're there. And for sure, plan on streaming. Please do. We would love to see you guys both on stream. It would be awesome. It's like worlds colliding. Ferris Comics says, I used to live in Tulsa, Arrow, Oklahoma in Tornado Alley. Oof. All right. Hopefully it didn't affect you hugely. I hope so, Mr. Comment. Sorry, YouTube changed the highlight, which misses some now. Tulsa, Broken Arrow. I need to work on my typing. Oh, okay. Broken Arrow. Right. I've heard of that. Oklahoma. Nice. All right. Let's get to the comics. Katie, you didn't miss anything. Just a bunch of chatter about disasters and storm chasing. But today is going to be I'm not going to be talking about new comics that I picked up. I'll kind of push them to next week because I only got a couple. Well, I'll show you the one I have. Redcoat, an issue of Redcoat came out, I think, this week, which I haven't picked up yet. But this one came out, another Ghost Machine book, Hyde Street, which is the horror line. And the artwork looks amazing in this one, written by Jeff Johns again. But let's give that its time. I'll push it to next week, I think, because it's worth it to look at it a little bit, not crammed in with all this other stuff. The books I do want to talk about today are, I had mentioned earlier that I went to 2 new comic book stores while I was ferrying my family around. And let me switch to this view. So the first store I went to, tiny business card. The first store I went to was called Chris's Comics in Newark, California, which is kind of east of where I am. And I just happened where one of my relatives lived was like about 10 minutes away from here. So I was like, I'm going to swing by and go and visit. And so I went to Chris's Comics, and it was totally in this nondescript, like strip mall-y kind of area, like next to a liquor shop. And I think they're doing some painting outside too. So it was like most of the outsides were covered with like paper and like tarp. So I wasn't even sure. I went late at night, so it's dark. I wasn't even sure. But what made me want to go to this store was I saw that the hours this was on Tuesday night. The hours were, the store was open till 1 in the morning. And I was like, what? 1 in the morning? So I called them before I went because I thought maybe it was a typo. So I called them and I said, hey, yeah, I want to come. What are your hours today? I want to come to your store. And they were like, oh, we're open from blah, blah, blah till 1 in the morning. And I said, oh, okay. So it is really, you're open till 1 in the morning. They're like, yeah, yeah. So I went, and it wasn't that big of a store. It kind of felt like, as I was talking to the owner, he described it as like a clubhouse. It kind of felt like it had like this smaller, more intimate feeling. And they had new books on the rack, like when you walk in, but there was no graphic novels, which mostly you find in most comic book stores these days focused on graphic novels. So they had like single issues from the week. And then most of the rest of the space were gaming tables and toys, but back issue boxes. And I was like, whoa. And they had back issue boxes that were like back issues that were boarded and bagged. But then they also had this whole piles of dollar bin boxes. And hold on a second. Just got something. Okay. Why did that buzz? Right. And so I saw these boxes and I was talking to the store owner. His name was Chris. And he said, oh, you want to... And I started flipping through them. He's like, oh, yeah, there was like $1 a book. But if you picked up 10 books, they were 50 cents each. So I've said this before, like when you walk into a comic book store, immediately you're kind of assessing with either the other customers that are there or the comic book store owner or whoever's working the register at the time. You kind of get this, like, you got to assess the situation, right? So it's like with any social event or situation, you walk in and you kind of suss it out a little bit. And so I walked in and started flipping through this dollar bin box, and the guy chimed in. He's like, oh yeah, it's like dollar bin boxes, we got these here, and like, you can't really go wrong by looking through it. And I flipped through it and I pulled out this book. It was called Team 7, and the artist on the book of Team 7 is this artist by the name of Aaron Weisenfeld, which I have reviewed on my channel before. He did that Deathblow and Wolverine book with the beautiful, beautiful artwork. And so Aaron Weisenfeld was the penciler on this book for Wildstorm called Team 7. It was like a military book. But he wasn't the ink. He didn't ink it himself. He didn't do the artwork himself. So I pulled it out. I was like, oh, Team 7, cool. And immediately the store owner said, oh yeah, Team 7. Are you familiar? Have you read Team 7 before? And I'm like, oh yeah, I really love Aaron Weisenfeld. And then I said, I one of my favorite things he's done is the Deathblow Wolverine miniseries. And immediately I saw this like light bulb pop up in the store owner's head of like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. Like it was kind of this like, all right, he's got the cred a little bit. And so we started chatting. He's like, oh yeah, like, oh, it was an amazing series, and like Team 7. Yeah. And I told him, I said, I didn't think Team 7 really lives up to what he's about, because he has this different inker. And he's like, oh yeah, he was dealing with like so many different executives telling him to draw this and blah, 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 blah. So we had this cool conversation about Aaron Weisenfeld, and it immediately like broke this barrier of like, okay, we can talk the talk, right? Like we can do this. So it was cool because then he was like, oh, do you need a couple chairs? Like I can make it easy. Cause I was hunched over looking through these boxes. He's like, oh, let me give you a couple of chairs. And he came out and pulled these chairs out, and I got to sit down and comfortably like flip through these boxes. And it was awesome. It was just one of those moments, those comic book store moments where you're like, okay, cool. I feel at home now, and I feel like welcome. And I've definitely gone into stores where I've tried to have conversations, and then you get a really like closed off or like a hoity-toity kind of response to whatever it is you're talking about. And then you're like, okay, cool. Like I'll just come in and get my books. But it was really cool just to kind of connect with this guy, Chris, and his store. So then I asked him like, hey, so tell me about this, like staying open till 1 a.m. Like, what's the deal with that? Like, why are you guys doing that? And the whole reason is, if you guys can guess, Wednesday is New Comic Book Day, and comic book stores get their books like a day-ish earlier, the shipments earlier, so that they have time to like put it up on the rack the night before and blah 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 blah. But he has always stayed open, or for a while has stayed open till 1 a.m. because legally or technically they are not allowed to sell the books earlier than Wednesday. And I've even seen that in some stores where they will put out the books early, like on a Tuesday, but they'll put a sign like, we cannot sell these books right now. But he stays open till 1 a.m. because he wants it like on the dot at midnight on Wednesday that people can come and buy the books. So I told him, I said, wow, do you have a lot of like faithfuls or like subscribers that come on Wednesday to pick up the book? And he was like, oh, I've got about 3. He's like, it's totally not worth it. And I'm like, well, why do you do it? He's like, oh, because, you know, it's cool and like they enjoy it and they really appreciate it. And I was like, wow, like that's dedication for you. That is for the love of comics. That's the little blurb that happens at the end of my streams, every stream. But that is it in a nutshell. Like, for the love of comics, the guy just does it because he loves comics. He loves taking care of his customers, even if it's like 3 of them that stay up. And he's like, well, I got to be here anyway. I'm like cataloging stuff. So like, why not just stay open? Like, that was kind of his attitude. But monetarily, it doesn't benefit him at all. And our discussion even went to the point of like talking about carrying back issues and the dollar bins. And he said, it's kind of a mess, but you just kind of flip through it. And I said, no, this is perfect. Like, I love going through piles of unorganized stuff to try and hunt for new stuff, because you never know what you're going to find. And he said, to be honest, like, it doesn't really make its money for me. He's like, but I just have a lot of stuff and I know people love it. So I just put it out there and just put it out for a big discount. So he was all about the love of comics, and he's been doing this for a long, long time. And so at the end of it, I asked him like, hey, I would love to do a video of your store. I wasn't prepared to do it, and it was pretty late when I went, but I was like, I'd love to come back and do a video of your store. And he was like, yeah, totally. He's like, that'd be great. And I got to tell him a little bit about this YouTube channel and what I've done for the other stores, and talking about each of the stores and blah, 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 blah. And he was like, wow, I really want to go visit those stores now. So it was cool. It was like the Rocky connection was widening a little bit more. And it just left me with a smile on my face, because I felt welcome in it. You know, my first time being in that store, I felt welcome. And it just had its own little vibe, you know. So coming soon, I will be doing a video on Chris's comics in Newark, California, and it'll be fun. It'll be really fun to kind of share that with you guys. All right, sorry, I am way behind, and I haven't even started showing the comics yet, but let's go. Let's see. Emo Trash says, there's one time our dog got sprayed by a skunk before he passed. Mom made up some concoction with peroxide? I don't think that's safe to bathe in, is it? Maybe, I think it was vinegar. Peroxide probably would have killed your dog, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, but I'm not sure if that was... unless you bleached him. That couldn't be good. Katie says, not a problem at all, Rocky. Mark's Music Session says, wow, Ferris Comics. I lived in Fort Smith, Arkansas for years. Often went to Tulsa, Broken Arrow. Nice. I did buy the first 4 issues of the Ultimates, though I need to get the Ultimate Invasion from my local store. Oh, cool. Yes. I can't even keep track of all the Ultimate stuff. There was a new thing that came in, All In, DC All In. And I looked through it and I was like, I'm not all in. Rocky, can you make your face cam smaller and the desk cam larger? Yes, I could do that. Like that? You mean you want to see this closer? There you go. Oh, it's kind of blurry. I just like to mix it up with the There you go, Chris's Comics. I like to mix it up with the views, John. I'm not going full screen yet because I don't have the comic yet, but sorry. There you go. Katie's very excited about her trip. Yep. Yes, old-fashioned comics and all. Me too. Love it. Google search that my mom did like minutes after it happened. Oh gosh. Dedication, love of what you do. I like that. Very cool. Yeah, it was great. And it was great. And like I said, I've been in stores where it's like I wasn't that well received. I mean, I didn't do anything, but it was just like you get the vibe immediately. And the funny thing was just feeling the water with the Aaron Weisenfeld comment, just like open the door. Rocky making a name. Not really. Just trying to connect the network. No one is blessed without sacrifice, customer service in a nutshell, and Christianity. Yeah. I mean, it's from everybody I talk to. Oh, I'll go over the other store too. But everybody I talk to who owns a comic book store, it is a labor of love. Nothing that you do really makes money that well. Like barely. Unless it involves something other than comics. So it's a labor of love, but people are doing it for like 20, 30 years. And a lot of the stories that I've run across, and this other store that I went to, Conspiracy Comics, was the other one that I ran into in Sunnyvale. A lot of the stories, and it was the story for Ryan, who I met, a lot of the stories they were customers first of the store, and then whatever happened, the store, it was either sold or somebody was retiring or whatever, and then those customers because they loved it so much, would end up buying it and then taking it over. So that's what Ryan did for Comics Conspiracy. Another great store farther south from me, and it kind of was in the middle of nowhere a little bit, but it's a great store. And this one I did get to video while I was there. I haven't edited that one together yet, but it'll be next on my list of doing. But this one was a cool store too, and it was it wasn't as like clubhousey feel as Chris's Comics. And Ryan knows Chris, so that's kind of cool. Most of these store owners all know each other. But it was a lot more, definitely a lot more organized and had a lot of inventory. But it also had a huge section, of back issues and dollar bin and used graphic novels. So it was awesome there. I spent quite a bit here just kind of flipping through their dollar bin, and it was great. And Ryan was super friendly. It was, it was kind of to myself, like going through the books, but then when I was paying for it and telling him about what I was doing, and I asked him, I was like, would it be cool if I filmed here? Because I'm doing these promo videos for different stores. He was like, yeah, do it. And he was even like, should I be standing here? Like, he was really nice about it. So I'm excited to edit that video. I don't feel like my camera work was that great filming yesterday. I was like off. It was super hot, but hopefully that video comes out well. But I like the store a lot, and Ryan seems super cool. So yeah, that is on the plate. So let me start actually talking about the books and not about storms and floods and random comic book shop owners I met. But that's all what it is here. Let's see. There was definitely a peroxide involved. Yikes. Wasn't a bath, was more like a spray type deal. Okay, that makes more sense. I think a peroxide bath would be not good. Ferris Comics says, hey Mark, I lived there in 1993 to 95. It was a good place except the ice storms. Ice storms? Yikes. Which I am sure you're familiar with in Arkansas. Goodness. So many disasters. Okay. Oh, wait. Let me zoom out. Here we go. We're going to start. I got a lot of dollar bin stuff, but it's all fun stuff. Okay. So here we are. Micronauts. I saw these issues. Fun thing with looking through, and these are all the back issues I'm going over here are mixed between Chris's Comics and Comics Conspiracy. But if you're lucky, and you guys might have experience with this, when you go through dollar bins, if you're lucky, you will find like a consecutive issues of what you find. So, oftentimes store owners will take a chunk of whatever collection or back issues and they'll put them all together in the bin. So if you're lucky and it hasn't been mixed up too much, or they are doing like a section, you will pick up consecutive issues. And so that's what happened for me for this Micronauts one. I love Micronauts because it's just a crazy idea. For those of you who don't know, it's basically like mini astronaut or mini Star Wars. Like they're tiny, microscopic. Great name, Micronauts, right? But Michael Golden, who you all know I love, I did that master study page on the NAM that Michael Golden did, but he got his start. I want to say his start. Not, maybe it wasn't the first book he did, but one of the first series he was put on was Micronauts. He did, I think, the first maybe 12-ish issues of Micronauts. And I have that artist edition that has those, a lot of the work from those issues. But then after he left the series, a few artists took over behind him. So in these particular issues, I got it for the artwork and also because it was Micronauts. In these issues, the artist for this one, I believe, was Butch Geis. And the inker, one of the inkers was Kelly Jones, which if you guys have seen my previous streams, I was talking about Kelly Jones and his Batman work and how one of the artist editions I'm kind of eyeing to see if I can get in the future. But Kelly Jones has that like Bernie Wrightson influence to his stuff. Seems like a great like brush artist as well. So it's cool to see him ink Butch Geis' work. Like the combo of those two is pretty cool. And then you can see that they were influenced a lot by what Michael Golden did to set up the series. But the things that I like about it are the character work. Specifically this female character, I forgot her name, Marionette, like her, like Farrah Fawcett. She was totally based on Farrah Fawcett. Her Farrah Fawcett hair, and Acro Year. This guy, such a cool character. But yeah, look at this ink work. Like I can feel the like Kelly Jones-ish, Bernie Wrightson feel to this stuff. So it's kind of a cool combo. And then later on in the series, Kelly Jones takes over as a penciler. I don't know if he inks it himself. I'm not sure, but he takes over as well. So it's kind of nice to see the progression from like Michael Golden, Butch Geis, Kelly Jones, trying to keep the Michael Golden stuff, like the expressions, the character work, adding in this like nice environmental stuff that I feel like Kelly Jones brought in a lot. And then in the world of Micronauts is pretty cool. I love the smell of dollar books too. There's something about that like smell of like old newsprint inky comic stuff that I love. But there's like some cool faces here. Cool like cosmic stuff going on. And I haven't read the series out this far. They just came out with a huge omnibus of, I don't know if it's the complete Micronauts, but definitely like a huge one of those thick omnibuses where all these issues are compiled. I didn't think about getting it because I was kind of into just Michael Golden's run, which was the first 12 issues. But seeing this stuff, it's like, maybe I should pick it up. We'll see. But fun stuff. Fun fantasy, sci-fi mix with some great art and just really solid art. I love it. And you just see the amount of work that's put into this. And, the blood, sweat, and tears, the production work, the coloring, the inking, the penciling, and blah, blah, blah. And then, ends up in a dollar bin. That's kind of sad. Here's the next issue. So I found 56, 57, and 58 together. It's like cool stuff, you know? It's like they're not dialing this in. This is really like they're spending a lot of time. This is Butch Geist, Kelly Jones. I'm not familiar with Sam Granger as an inker. Rick Parker inked. Rick Parker is a letter that's worked with like Todd McFarlane. So all these names are pretty familiar. Butch Guy, but I'm not familiar with Sam Granger that much. But it's just it's great work here. The yellowing of the page, it's awesome. Heard Marionette, huh? Do you what's up with the Marionette? That's her name. Amazing art. Awesome One says, "What's up, Awesome One?"
Yes, that's awesome.
Is it awesome art? Maybe is that what you were trying to say? Happy you're in Florida now too, Mark. Micronauts, what's up? What's up? That's what's up. Kelly Jones would get in trouble getting into his brother's Davy Jones locker. Oh, John. John slacking on his Gothics interactions. Hey. Didn't bring Cranberry with you? Is he over there? Cranberry will come. He'll come, I hope. Big Boy Burgers. This is my second channel. Oh! Nice. Big Boy Burgers. What is it about? What is this channel for? My gosh. I can't barely keep track of my own channel, let alone start a second channel. Thanks for the sub. BBB. Thanks for the sub. Does that mean I have to come up with a sound effect for Big Boy Burgers? Man, that might be good. Caffeine is starting to kick in for John. That looks like a blast back to the late 80s or early 90s in art. It is. Let's just see. Let's get an exact date here. 84. Woo. Perfect. Like 84. This lives well in 1984. Baron Karza. Totally Darth Vader right there. I love this stuff though. It's like I said, they're not just dialing it in. They're really like referencing and working on the art. I'm going to give a lot of credit to Kelly Jones for this one. But Butch Geist has always been a solid artist. I've never seen him as a regular on a book. I mean, other than this stuff, but I was exposed to his work a lot. Like he would fill in issues for people. I don't know what he's doing now, but I think he's probably relatively old. I love the panel layouts out here. So it's like they're playing around with stuff. You know, it's not your standard throwaway comic fare. And I don't know how much of the story I'll really be able to get between these 3 issues, but it's fun that I have a little bit of a run in there. Baron Karza, for those of you who are not familiar with Micronauts, he could transform, or I don't even know how he officially did it, but he can turn the bottom half of his body into a centaur body also. Kind of weird, but it was part of who he was. That's great. Great splash page right there. Baron Karza, Acro Year. He's always a favorite because of his design was just freaking cool. And then these other guys, Bug, and I don't know who this character is. Who is that character? Huntar. He came way after the Michael Golden stuff. There's Acro Year without his helmet, which is why he keeps the helmet on. Bug, yeah, Commander Arcturus, Marionette. Fireflight is new. I don't know hers either. Looks kind of like a wasp character. But this is a good bang for your buck right here. Look at that. Burnt skeleton. It's awesome. There he is. There he goes. Centaur Karza right there. Centaur form. And rockets. This dude could compete with X-Horse, Adam. Right there. Always these like glamour shots of Marionette. It's fun. Oh, it's like a little ad to of this robot. What was this robot's name? Bigtron. Look at his like human organs inside. That's gross. I wonder if he left the team after this point because he wasn't in the like lineup. Wow, this is cool. This is a cool back cover image. Really cool. Yeah, I wonder why Butch Geist never really got super popular. Micronauts Triumphant. Also Butch Geist, Kelly Jones. Looks like Kelly Jones is the only inker on this one. Awesome. Awesome splash page. Awesome one says, this is the art I grew up on. There you go. Love it. Called it. 1984 was such a good year. It really was. Van Halen. Nice. Had to make an album about it. Really good. Big Boy Burgers. Rocky missed my comment earlier about how the channel started. Did I? All right, wait. Big Boy Burgers. Can I do a search? I can do a search. All right, here we go. See? Awesome. This is Ecamm because I can do a search on comics. Big Boy Burgers was a channel I set up with my friend Keith to do food reviews and cooking. Sadly, he became very ill with cancer and passed away. Oh, man. Mark, I'm so sorry to hear about. I think you've talked about this friend before, like your really good friend who passed away recently. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. Rest in peace, Keith. And Mark, honoring your legacy and the fun you guys had with Big Boy Burgers. Dang it. That's a bummer to hear. I'm doing 2 streams again. Michael Bancroft just started. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. All right. It's crazy. It's crazy in here. Let's see. Big Boy Burgers, Bancroft. We're being it out. Ballesteros. All the B's are streaming right. I am a little slow. Did Mark lose his phone? Weird. I think you're talking about the Centaur. Yeah, that's weird. Check it out. X-Men are showing up here. And I have seen Butch Geist do some X-Men fill-in issue. I think. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know. I think it must. I know they had an X-Men Micronauts crossover, which I don't know much about. But anyway, I love these faces. There's something about the way they're drawn and rendered. I love the big eyes on Marionette. She's great. She just became like a cornerstone character for this group. But this is awesome. And just look at the colors too. Look how simple coloring was, the process was back then. But so impactful. Like it really, I always say this, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of coloring today, computer coloring today, but man, what they were getting away or accomplishing with such limited palettes was amazing. It's like you get the idea to color these monochromatic, these kind of cool colors, and then this warm sunset or whatever this planet set behind them is awesome. This pink color, it's like bright pink. Super cool. Look at that. Like that's good stuff. That's 80s comics right there. Look at that. That's amazing. That's an amazing splash page. Really good. I love the coloring on him too. This like brighter blue highlight and then this stuff, like the coloring here. It's great. Awesome one. I'm dual streaming this on iPad, other on the TV phone. Using MMO count for Bancroft stream. Oh, I get the Big Boy Burgers count? Nice. But does that mean I have to do a Big Boy Burgers? You giving us like schizophrenia? Speaking of schizophrenia, are you giving us 2 personalities here, Mark? Wow, look at that. This is awesome. I didn't even know I was getting this good stuff in this pickup. This is amazing double page spread. If I could do anything half this good, that'd be amazing. That's fun. Really fun. Yeah, let's It's a lot of time and care was put in this artwork. It's great. I have not been exposed to this at all, so pleasantly surprised. I just picked it up because I was like, oh, cool, Micronauts, and I got 3 issues. Cool. It's only $1. Here we go. This is creepy. Karza, centaur style, and where is she stabbing him? I'm not sure. It's a little shady. Here we go into an epilogue. Yeah, I love these like close-up faces. They're awesome. The expressions. This character I always didn't like. He was too weird of a design for me. Bug, kind of weird. And this is a cool use of Zipatone, but colored. That's neat. It seems really emotional what is going on here. What is going on, Israel? Man, this has gone way more epic than I'm used to on Micronauts. And next issue, a new writer, new artist, all new era of Micro. Oh, I guess we ended something with Karza. He was stabbed. There we are. Bug, Marionette, Acroyear, Huntar, Fireflight, Commander Ran. I'm assuming, excuse me, my tummy. I'm assuming these are Butch Geiss's drawings. Oh, I guess Bill Mantlo, the creator and writer, is leaving. So they did this farewell stuff. I love this. This is very 80s too, where they would like draw the creators interacting with the characters on these kind of pages. I've seen this done a lot in the 80s. It's fun. All right. First pickup, or first review, or yeah, pickup from the dollar bin. Micronauts 56, 57, and 58. Fun stuff. $3. All right. Where are we at? Ferris Comics is my second channel. Just getting it started. My other channel is Luchasaurus. Everybody has 2 channels. Should I start another channel? What is going on? Subscribe to Ferris Comics and Luchasaurus, everybody. Subscribe to Big Boy Burgers and Mark's Music Obsession. Why not? Dag nabbit. Do I need to get something to settle my stomach so that you guys don't hear it gurgling? I told you I skipped lunch. Okay, let's get going. Okay, Warheads. I picked this up. Like, I was like, what is going on? This cover actually reminded me a little bit of a Michael Golden feel to the drawing, which was very rendered and cool characters and expressions. It's weird, though. I was like, what is going on? I've never heard of Warheads. Marvel Comics UK, probably why I've never heard of it. I know they did this UK line. One of the main characters on the UK line was Death's Head, and I never really got into it growing up. I didn't understand the UK line. But when I flipped through this, I was like, wow, this artwork's kind of interesting. And it's by a guy by the name of Gary Erskine. I have heard of Gary Erskine before, but I didn't know about this book at all. And yeah, it feels very much Michael Golden either was influenced by this or influenced this, because it has a similar feel to some of his later stuff. The coloring, and this was something that I noticed in the UK books. I wasn't that big of a fan of coloring. Like, this is pretty chaotic. Weird choices of colors. This is like tomato soup right here. But yeah, really weird choices of colors. Crazy designs. But I'm more willing to like check things out, try things out if it's coming from the dollar bin. And so that's why I picked this one up. This is a very bizarre character design with this like black stripe over this girl's face or her mouth. I almost wish this book was in black and white because I feel like the color work hinders understanding what is going on in the artwork. I don't like the color choices at all. This kind of stuff reminds me a lot of Michael Golden, especially when Michael Golden was doing Spartan X. Let me pull that out. Spartan X was the Jackie Chan comic. Let me put this out. I don't think I've talked about this one on stream before. But like, tell me this doesn't remind you a little bit of each other. So this is Spartan X. Michael Golden got involved with doing a Jackie Chan comic. Oh, this is the black and white version. All right. But like kind of the crazy colors feel similar, but like just the complexity of the drawing and like, but also the command of the human figure. I don't know. Something about it feels very similar to this. You guys think? Oh, I love seeing Michael Golden's work in black and white. This is the same guy that did the Nam that but this is much later in his career. But doesn't that feel very similar right there? These kind of two, just the level of detail, the level of ink line, the action, how the figures kind of just, how the faces even kind of feel very similar. I've never seen that, or I've never felt that connection between Michael Golden's work and Gary Erskine's. Probably because I don't know Gary Erskine's work that much. But right? Like if you told me Michael Golden drew this, I'd be like, oh, okay. I believe you, kind of. Anyway, this is cool. Spartan X is awesome. I wish they would release like an artist edition of this in all in black and white because it's really cool to see. Michael Golden oftentimes does his own colors. I'm pretty sure he colored this himself. And they're cool, but I prefer other colorists on him or black and white of his artwork. I don't know what's going on in this story. It seems crazy. This is a different artist, I think. This was like a separate story. Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, it's just cool to see different genres, different stuff from different time periods. This was 1992, early 90s, Warheads. Never heard of it. It's weird, but cool. Cool stuff. Not your typical superhero fare. Scour the dollar bins for Springbok. Hang tight with that request, big boy. BBB/MMO. We're working on that one. With all due respect, Rocky, I don't think you'd be able to handle another channel. You know what, Emo Trash? I think you're right. That I don't know. Maybe I'd surprise you. Maybe that channel, I'd be really quick to get to the chat. No technology problems. No derailing. I'd be on it. You don't know. Could be better. But I should do it about a totally different subject. Like, natural disasters or cooking the two dishes that I know how to cook. Okay, so this book, I don't know if you guys remember, there was one stream where I talked about Brute and Babe, and it was Bart Sears's book. It was issue 1 of this, and this is issue 2. I found, I was like, oh, cool. This is the second issue. I've never seen this in my life because I didn't even know he made it past issue 1. But it's more of his crazy Brute and Babe character, Bart Sears, inked by Andy Smith, who is a independent creator in the Comicsgate space now. And he's worked with Bart Sears for a long time. So it's cool to see more of his work here. I know he's inking Bart Sears quite a bit. And then he started being more and more drawing his own stuff. But you can see the influence between the two of them. But yeah, this is Bart Sears' his attempt to create our own universe with Brute and Babe. We talked about this when we were talking about the stream, or talking about the first issue. Brute and Babe were started in Wizard Comics. He was doing a how to draw segment in Wizard Comics, and the characters, he made a male character and a female character and called them Brute and Babe, just so he could show like, oh, this is how you draw a female form, this is how you draw a male form. But then he turned it into a story with this launch of his own company. But they're all muscly. Yeah, it's like a epic fantasy tale. The first issue was a little hard to read, not gonna lie. Lots of crazy world building names and concepts, but the artwork's pretty awesome. I feel like Bart Sears he just understands superhero anatomy so well, but his storytelling isn't as strong as his anatomy and just his drawing ability, in my opinion. And then there's some people who can't draw as good as he does, but are like really good storytellers. So it's just kind of, it's personal preference of which you gravitate towards. But I was really happy to find issue 2. Looks like Brute just got something kicked out of him. Just got nailed by this crazy weird hammer dude. See, here it is. I'll zoom in. I have vanquished the... It's like when there's more consonants than vowels, then you start getting a little confused. And it's a lot of it is like that. There's a lot of that in here. That's a cool character. Techron. This is also drawn by Bart Sears. Another story, Pharaohs. Yeah, just great poses, great musculature and anatomy. Coloring, story. This is awesome. Some awesome designs here. Here you go. You guys can see. You can get what I'm talking about. Armorin, Pharaohs, Insidious, that's a cool name. Night Beast, that's cool. Tyrus, Mega Man. I mean, I guess they're kind of okay. But there's some weird ones. This was the issue I had. This is issue 1. This is cool. What is this? The Augury. The Augury. What does that mean? All right. Mael's Rage. Issue 2. I love the randomness of what I picked up. Camel Moon said he might do a Camel Night soon. Is that another stream gonna start? Dang it. Honey, if I'm there, you ain't avoiding the derailing, Emo Trash says. Okay, all right. I understand. If it's about natural disasters, you spend... That's so good. Mel's Rage, LOL. Honey Emo embracing her inner Southerner. That's right. Most words typically have more consonants than vowels, at least in English. Well, when you have like a disproportionate amount, then it's like gets confusing. Then you get into like Polish or like some sort of Scandinavian language. Gothics just stopped streaming as the Discord server notified. Okay. All the Gothics people can come here now. All right. Remember last week I talked about an artist. He did the... I think I have it. Do I have it here? Yes. Whoa! Piles are falling now. Yikes. He did this, the Lobo cancellation special. The artist's name is Kyle Hotz or Hotz. I don't know how you pronounce it. So, this was, guess who the artist on this? Kyle Hotz, yeah. Ultraverse from Malibu Comics. So this was another 90s thing. 1994, Malibu Comics and Ultraverse. Again, during the whole Image era, they were trying to compete with the independent market. So everybody was coming out with their own new universe kind of stuff. According to this stamp, Ultraverse's first birthday, and this character by the name of Nightman. Know nothing about this at all. Kyle Hotz, though, is the artist. So I was like, oh, cool. I was just talking about this dude on stream. Look at this. Where's this Timmy Mello still here? You can appreciate this. The Little Big League. But you can see like this is like the big Bernie Wrightson influences here, starting in here already. You can feel it. And I love that his stuff has this indie vibe to it. I don't know if it's just the amount of the way that he inks the stuff. I don't know. It totally has this indie vibe though. And then this kind of crazy robot armor character is pretty sweet. So yeah, even though it's cool to see like where an artist started from and kind of how they progressed, and like he is on another level now, but it's awesome to see like where he started. And I think the fact that he's not been on a regular book must be due to his speed, I'm guessing, because his artwork was good. It's solid. It's fun. It wasn't like what Image was doing. Totally different vibe, but it's fun. Really fun, compelling stuff. I love that. Like, yeah, this feels like Kelly Jones right here, or like Bernie Wrightson. How he handles cloth and this kind of dark vibe to his work. I love this stuff. It's fun. Fun. I don't know anything about Nightman. Or why he has this one huge eye, bug eye. These were the books that were coming out for Ultraverse. Sludge, which was speaking of people who are independents and Comicsgate people, Aaron Lopresti, Gary Martin were doing Sludge for the Ultraverse. Barry Windsor Smith did this book called Rune. I don't know who Dan Brereton, who does a book called Nocturnals. I guess he was doing this book called The Solution. Dan Brereton created this book called Nocturnals. I've never been a huge Dan Brereton fan. He paints a lot too, does great paintings, but I've never been a big fan of his work. War Strike, I've seen some books like this by this guy, Nguyen. I don't know, Strangers, Wraith, don't know that. Brian Hitch and what's Lanning's first name? Oh, the art was Dodson. Oh, okay. Gary Erskine. Oh, here we go. What's that book we used to look at? It's called Warheads, but this is a book called Firearm. Cool. Yeah, I don't know much about the Ultraverse. I never really got into the Ultraverse. But anyway, Kyle Hotz, tracking him down. Hot for Hots. Oh, I already did that. Cranberry needs to get himself in here. He does. I'm still listening on my phone, just running around. Oh, cool. I know Mike Barr. Oh, there you go. Wow. Awesome. Currently, I have having Jersey mics. Ooh, that sounds good. All right. Here's another kind of... I didn't really get a series. Actually, I could have gotten issue 4. I saw it, but it wasn't that great. But I've never heard of this character before, the Black Hood, which really appealed to me because of some ideas that I'm working on right now. But look at this crazy design. He's got this black hood. It felt very pulpy, like The Shadow or like, you know, Dark Man kind of feel to him. But I really dug these kind of layouts that they were trying out here. And his weird hood design seemed cool. Yeah, but he seems to be like a vigilante character. Typical story, right? Vigilante character puts on a costume and lives 2 different lives. I don't know why this hood, one of the eyes is bigger. No idea. It's almost like a reverse KKK hood. I don't know. And this artist is interesting. I'm not that familiar with this artist. But here he goes. Here's the Black Hood. Like, I love this stuff, like this storytelling stuff. This is fun. There's a lot more clarity in this than in that Warheads book that I picked up. But yeah, this character just jumping around, doing his thing. Doing his vigilante thing. Let me see. I saw his name, but I totally skipped over it. I think it's in this other book. Here's issue 5. Issue 4, like I said, wasn't that interesting. Rick Burchett is the artist. Mark Wheatley is the writer. I think the cool thing about this, and this is, I'm thinking about this for a character that I'm working on. I love how like iconic and this, like you can pick out his character wherever he is in frame. So it's like a graphic element, right? So this Black Hood, like you can totally spot it everywhere that you're looking on a page. And it helps to lead the eye around and kind of give you a sense of space and follow the action when the character's costume is so iconic. So here's his new costume, kind of cool. Like, feels a little Rorschach-esque like from Watchmen, but cool stuff. That's cool. It's got really strong shoulders, shoulder blades. Look at this force, exaggerated perspective. Again, one of those artists that I would never really, were not on my radar, but solid stuff. Solid. I love the storytelling feel to it. Going back to Warheads of like, oh yeah, the drawing is great. The kind of the rendering is good, but this guy is thinking about storytelling, about composition, and like how is he like planning out the action and what's he doing in each panel, panel size, panel layout, and I love that. The hunt for the Black Hood. There he goes. Black Hood. Cool. The Black Hood. I'll have to do some more research on him because it's kind of an interesting character. Vigilante character in a dark disguise. What year was this? 1992. We're in the like mid 80s, early 90s. That's like the sweet spot of dollar bin stuff. Can't tell me like Image Comics, Impact Comics. It's all kind of same world. Wow, you guys jumped. Okay, new Mike bar. Comrade Sammy eating Jersey Mike's. Might as well tell us that sandwich you got. Yeah, just give us the specifics. You can't just leave it there. Oh, Jersey Mike's. Well, you guys can guess what I'm eating. Gotta tell us. Awesome One is watching a church stream now. Jeez Louise. YouTube sucks, breaking extensions out of spite to keep people having to touch it. No set and forget. Impact Comics. I have the comment from Impact Comics. They have generic names for most of the heroes. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm really not familiar with Impact at all. They didn't make a impact on me, huh? That is the price of free. The eye is bigger because you might as well commit to the deranged look. It does give you that kind of creepy, freaky look. And it, because it looks like a hood, is already kind of creepy. Like we get these connotations of the KKK or like, yeah, like a hangman or something. So that's a good observation. I hear pause videos have ads now. Guess you have to mute every time you pause. Ad blockers. Linus Tech says take a stream link and open in Bling to avoid. Oh, okay, this is all tech stuff. Nice. Katie says I gave up trying to multi-stream. I'm just here now. Nice, Katie. We appreciate it. All right, this one was, I've never heard of this book before. Megahurtz. This is kind of silly. It's an Image book, so 1997. It definitely felt like student, kid, like an indie book. But I love that however they managed to get in front of Image and publish it through Image, they did. Never heard of these guys, Joe St. Pierre, David Klistick. I don't know what they're doing now, but it's got this kind of underground indie vibe. And I love that it, like you guys know, I love that it's in black and white. It's just muscled out Image style, but really cartoony too. So it's kind of fun. Storytelling, I haven't read it yet, but feels kind of bananas. My eyes is just like jumping all over the place. It gives me like a Creed. Do you guys remember that book from Image? Creed by Trent Kanyugia or something? I can't remember his last name. But it gives me that vibe, like really exaggerated, cartoony, almost kid-like characters with next to big-fingered, muscly things. It's weird, but fun. I was like, a buck? All right, cool. I'll check it out. Never heard of it before. But yeah, this kind of fun, cartoony stuff. Megahurtz. But yeah, I mean, when you look at these kind of pages and you squint your eye, it's like, where is my eye direction going? I have no idea. It's all over the place here. There's another artist. There's another book that I have here where kinda the artist kinda has this vibe a little bit. It's like cartoony, really exaggerated stuff, but he gained some popularity quite a bit and then disappeared. So I'm not quite sure what happened to him, but I'll show you in a second. This is kind of cool. Like getting smaller. Megahertz. Yeah, it seemed like they had like maybe this was before you had like Patreon and all that. They had like friends, followers, I don't know. Cutting edge sci-fi right here, Megahurtz. I wonder how much it cost them to publish this with Image, or what cut Image took for a black and white book. Yeah, curious. Here's another one that was dollar bin worthy. So let me grab a couple other books that I actually own that tie into this. So Dark Horse did this thing with some creators where they created this new universe and introduced these new characters. And I'd argue Ghost was probably one of the best characters to come out of this. Just iconic design. They had, oh. I think the two main characters that I really gravitated towards, and it's why I own these books, is this character X and this character Ghost. This is an awesome cover by Frank Miller. He didn't draw the book. It was actually drawn by, I want to say Chris Warner. Yep, Chris Warner. But he's kind of this like vigilante Batman character, but a cool design with that X on the face and the one eye showing. I wish Frank Miller drew this book, but I mean, Chris Warner's great. Like, that's cool. It's awesome. Great drawing right there. Very cool character. And yeah, he just beat up some cops. They had these cool, I think these guys were called the Seekers or something. They were cool, but they like tied together all these different characters that they were introducing. And they had this odd release schedule where you can see here on the book, like this came out week 1. The first issue of this came out week 1. They had another book. I don't know what the order was. Maybe it was Barbed Wire or Rebel. But they had a few different books, and like week 2, the number 1 issue of another character would come out. Ghost was week 3. Ghost, again, I think is one of the more popular characters to come out of this, and it has to do with the fact that, in my opinion, Adam Hughes drew it. Adam Hughes is one of the best cover artists today in comics, but he does sequential stuff too, but now he's just pretty much all covers. But look at his version of X, and then this is his Ghost. And he brought in a lot of like Art Nouveau into his designs, which was for Ghost, which is amazing. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. He is not only can he render, he's a great storyteller too. And he could draw girls like none other. So that's why I was like, ooh, Ghost, she seems awesome. And he only did a few issues of Ghost. Look at this awesome sequence with X. Super cool. And then issue 4. Well, actually, let me show you Ghost first. I have this, which was a graphic novel of Ghost that came out. And here's the Adam Hughes stuff. He did a good chunk of it, and then somebody else took over after him. He did, I don't know, maybe 3 issues? 2 or 3 issues. But look at his artwork here. I love this, like, different frames. He's playing around with the frame shapes. Adam Hughes' expressions are amazing. Look at that expression. But I loved her cape. Just her design was just killer. This was her finding out that her sister was like a porn actress or something. And then, but look at this. Look at that drawing and like the smoke with the like Art Nouveau influence. So good. Yeah, she was just a great design with the cape, the two guns, and the fact that she was a ghost. He threw in Steven Spielberg in here. Awesome face. Look at this like martial arts ninja character. This is cheesecake drawings. It's awesome. Anyway, great stuff. This is why I loved Ghost. And this is all part of the same. And then this is when another artist took over after him. It wasn't as good. I was like, never mind. I don't like Ghost that much. I only like it when Adam Hughes is drawing her. These are all Adam Hughes covers. Okay, so that was Ghost, and then so that was week 3, Ghost. It kind of spun off into the series because I think a lot of people liked it because Adam Hughes was drawing it. And then, this one, issue 4, is Monster. This was in the dollar bin, and I saw that the artist was this guy by the name of Derek Thompson. I've gone through one of Derek Thompson's sketchbooks on stream before. He's an artist that works for ILM as a concept designer and also Lucasfilm and also Pixar as a storyboard artist. And he did some comic stuff, but it's kind of cool that they cast him to draw Monster because he was like a monster dude. That was his thing. But I totally didn't know that he drew this book. So it's kind of cool. Here's his version of X and this like monster character. Derek drew a lot of like hard shadows on his stuff, like really like, I don't know, strong shadow work. That's cool. So yeah, it was this interesting experiment that they did trying to invent these new characters, introduce these new characters, but tie them all in a combined universe. I don't know how successful it was. Love that. I don't think it was very successful, actually. But it was kind of a cool attempt. This character, look at his, like, his mullet. His superhero mullet, drawn by Jerry Ordway. He's not a small artist right there. Monster. When Derek Thompson would sign stuff, he'd sign it Derek Monster. All right. Wow, I'm way behind now. Katie, I just jump around my ADHD. This stream, Megahurtz. Wow. We're on it. We're on it with the jokes today, guys. My favorite sub shop recently closed. Jerky Mike's, never compared. We have an Ike's here, which is pretty prominent in the Bay Area. Ike's sandwiches, they're very good. I could do it with an Ike's sandwich right now. Jersey's is forgettable. Never had Jersey Mike's. More of a Firehouse girl myself. Oh, I wonder if it's the same Firehouse. We have a Firehouse in Southern California that's like barbecue. Is that the same Firehouse? I wonder. Quiznos. I remember Quiznos. It's either Jersey Mike's or Subway. Oof, I don't like Subway at all. We lived in an apartment once temporarily. Speaking of the floods, we had to move out of our house the first flood into temporary housing into an apartment, and the apartment was above a Subway's. And so whenever we came home, we would always smell the bread smell. It was actually not bad. But That's my memory of Subways, is just the smell when we went home to the apartment. Firehouse subs, Lenny's, JJ's. Wow, I don't know any of these. Firehouse brisket. I wonder if it's the same Firehouse. Huh. I didn't realize it was a chain, because this Firehouse has brisket as well. Katie says you're all talking gibberish again. Katie, you could just tell us about like the UK sandwich shops that are near you. I don't know. Yeah, we're leaving her out, guys. We're leaving. But you could try all these when you come too. Just ask Big Boy Burgers. Literal hole in the wall place down the road from me that's literally kind of hidden. There he is. What up? Cranberry Langers.
This is a cranberry, full of power.
It's about time you got in here, man. Where have you been? Working? That's not an excuse. Cranberry says he liked X. Yeah, I thought he was a cool design, cool I mean, who doesn't like the vigilante kind of character? It just taps into something primal, I think, in comics. But his design was really cool. Really, really cool design. New policy, because you pop in and out so much, I'll only say see ya and WB, welcome back, once per stream, at least by intent. There's a limit. There's a limit. Cran bounces more than me. Adam Hughes is one of the best cover artists of comics. He is, really is. He is one of the best artists of all time. Shant mentioned one of his streams that he had an Adam Hughes, like photocopied pencils of Adam Hughes' stuff, which Shant let me have as well. I have pencil copies of his. Do I have that here? Yep. Ho 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 ho! You guys. Let me make sure before I turn pages up. But I have these photocopies of. Look at this. This was his work on WildC.A.T.s X-Men that he did, that he wrote and penciled. He entered the art. But Shant let me have photocopies of that. Is that amazing? Dang right, it's amazing. I love that it's on blank noir paper, which was Gaijin Studios. How cool is that? So good. This is when I saw like what a great storyteller he was and how great he was with likenesses. There's his Zealot, Warblade, his Wolverine. So good. Look at that face. That's an amazing face. Cranberry Langer says, I don't think I ever got into Ghost. It's cool. I mean, I think because just the Adam Hughes stuff is really good. Adam Hughes did great sound effects too, handwritten sound effects. He could draw like amazing expressions. And then I think I felt like he had some like Mignola influence here with these creatures and this like pentagram. Beautiful. Look at that double page spread. Woo! Storm. Phoenix. He was just drawing all the cool things. I don't know. It's so funny. This boom here, this handwritten boom, I don't know if this was meant to stay in the print, but in the actual book, that same handwritten boom is there. It looks kind of funny. It's kind of joke. Like, that's cool. But then this little, like, handwritten boom, I don't know. Then there was rumor that, this was the end of it here. Then there was a rumor that I think he was working on a Superman Gen 13 story, but it never came to fruition. But this was a photocopy that was part of the stuff that I got from Sean. This was just some rando Adam Hughes stuff, but there, that's a fun part of my collection. You guys can see. Oof. Okay. Felt like it was missing something. Ghost, yeah. Monster looks cool. Interiors looks good. I never read the book, just that issue, just because I was like, oh, Derek Thompson. Nay. I remember Rebel, not into it. Yeah, me neither. Weird design. Very dated looking. Artwork was, I mean, it's Jerry Ordway, but didn't really kind of connect with me. Firehouse subs. Oh, dang. Okay, let me look. Firehouse subs. Ohio, Florida. No, it's not the same one. Wow. Puerto Rico. Yeah, it's not the same one that I'm thinking of. Wow, this has kind of like a fireman. Wow, I should tell Marty. It's like it's a fireman theme to it. Cool, nice, everybody on the Adam Hughes stuff. Nice art. There we go. I like the character design for Ghost. The art style, that's about where it ended. I might be missing out. It really fell off the wagon once Adam Hughes stepped off of it, in my opinion. So, yeah. I don't think you're missing that much. What's up? Big Boy Burgers, aka MMO, saying hello. Here's another book I got in the dollar bin. Always big fan of Arthur Adams. This was an Arthur Adams Gen 13 Generation X crossover. Very cool to see Arthur Adams artwork. I mean, I have a lot of his artwork, but this is some of the later, more recent, well, not recent, recent-ish. Let's see, what year was this? 97. That's not that recent, but kind of his later style, I would say. Not his 80s, 90s style. More cartoony, but solid, really solid. Love that character. This was designed by Chris Bocciolo, I believe. I think his name's Empath, maybe. But really cool design, and it's cool to see Arthur Adams' take on it. It's funny, too, because the main artist on Gen 13 was J. Scott Campbell, and J. Scott Campbell is highly influenced by Arthur Adams, but kind of turned it into his own thing. But he had strong Arthur Adams influence in his work. And then to see Arthur Adams draw J. Scott Campbell characters is like this weird full circle thing. But his take on those characters were great. And I love that it's a Generation X and Gen 13 crossover. Lots of gens. Yeah, it's like a lot of team characters. There's the Emplate. That's his name, not Empath. Emplate. Yeah, Empath sounds too friendly. Emplate. And Arthur Adams is great for these kind of one-shot things, because I think he just takes too long. As you can see, he draws the snot out of anything. But he's really great with these kind of one-shot crossover books. I like the feeling I got when I was younger, when I would read like X-Men, say, and then an annual come out and Arthur Adams was the artist in the annual. It was like this, like, oh wow, like this top tier artist bonus issue that you're getting to see. So anytime he works on stuff, I always get that same feeling. Oh, so yeah, here's you can see J. Scott Campbell's cover, and then this is Arthur Adams' cover. But just how similar yet different their style of stuff was. I'd say that J. Scott Campbell took the like lanky, sexy girl up a notch with his designs. I don't know, Arthur Adams is so great. He's a great girl artist too. Oh, there. WildC.A.T.s X-Men. That's what we were just looking at the pencils of. Really good. Mark Farmer's a great inker. Great inker. He inks on Alan Davis's stuff sometimes. Great, like, organic inker. He must use a brush. But to have him paired up with Adam Hughes is a great pairing. Everybody likes Firehouse subs. All right. I got to try it. If we start talking about Lay's potato chips, that translates to Walker's crisps in your language. Wow. Ferris Comics. Bridging the gap bridging the ocean between countries. I love it. Generation X. I like Generation X. I did too. And I think a lot of that had to do with Chris Bochelow's art on that. Here you go. The only one mentioned for SF. Well, the one that I have visited before is in San Luis Obispo, but I don't think it's the same one. I don't think so. Oh, Oakland. Oh, Alameda. Oh, it's in Alameda. Okay, it's a little far. It's over the bridge. Alameda is a cute town. They actually have a comic book shop there. I should go there. And that one I didn't get such a great vibe from. But I should go there. I know they have a comic book shop in Alameda. Huh. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Everybody's saying about how they like Firehouse subs. I'll have to check it out. Alameda's not too far. If I'm over there, I will definitely give my review. Firehouse service has been sketch here lately. We'll need to try them again, see if they cleared it up. J. Scott Campbell's always a favorite. Arthur Adams is great. Oh, did you guys see the announcement? I think Mark's Music Obsession saw it because he liked my retweet of it on X. But the announcement is Act 4 Publishing, that's led by Scott Dunbier, who did almost all of my favorite IDW Artist Edition books, those big books with the like original art scans. He started his own company, Act 4. One of the first books he's publishing out is Body Bags by Jason Pearson. Oh, it's going to be crazy good. This one, he's going to do an artist edition of this, which is going to be, it's going to kill me that it's going to be so good. But he just announced he's doing an artist edition of J. Scott Campbell's work of Danger Girl / Gen 13, stardom. So I was like, holy moly, that's going to be incredible too. So too much good stuff coming out. Ferris stinks we can't get the Walker's flavors here. Oh, not even all the Lays are available. Oh, the flavors of the chips. I don't know about other locations, but Firehouse, where I live, has a huge mural on one wall of probably the most iconic location in Old Town. Okay. Nice. Katie's smuggling some chips over for Mark. What kind of weird flavors do they have? Or weird flavors, sorry. Didn't mean to be judgmental. What kind of different flavors do they have in the UK that they don't have here, Mark? I know that when we were in Paris, they had like a ham and cheese flavored Pringles, I want to say. They had some way different flavors. They had like a ketchup flavored Pringles or Lay's. But what do they have in the UK that they don't have here? Let me know. Shrimp or curry ones? Mind the gap. I like the photos they have of the really old fire trucks. Nice. COVID has removed all the hots. Wow, you guys are having a serious Firehouse conversation here. Okay. I'm letting you guys have that. Jimmy John's. Man, I'm getting hungry now. I usually eat my Firehouse at home, never after it's heated up. Okay, here is the artist that I was talking about that reminded me of cartoony, very exaggerated. So this artist, the reason why I picked up this book was not because of Supreme, but by this artist named Pedi, P-E-D-I, which I think is kind of an unfortunate name. But he kind of blasted into the scene, and people were like, who is this guy? Worked on a couple of things and then disappeared, and I never ever knew what really happened to him. I didn't do any research of what happened to him. But I think the reason why his artwork was so popular was it kind of had this, he definitely was looking at Todd McFarlane's stuff, So he did this like Todd McFarlane exaggeration, his hatch lines, his hair, just the faces all kind of felt Todd McFarlane-y, but it was a little bit more cartoony. And at the time, for Image Comics, you were kind of in a couple camps. You were in the Jim Lee, like you drew like Jim Lee Wildstorm camp, or you were in the Mark Silvestri, Mark Silvestri camp, like you drew like him as like Michael Turner and what's that other artist's name? Dang it. But there was these kind of camps of like where the stylistic influences came from. Then you had like Eric Larson was in his own world a little bit. You had the Sam Keiths, Dale Keown kind of was his own thing too. But Todd McFarlane didn't really have people that drew like him. Stephen Platt arguably had a McFarlane influence, but then you can also see like Will Portacio was like a big influence on his work too. But nobody really tapped into that Todd McFarlane-ness. I think it's just because Todd McFarlane was hard to draw, it's hard to copy. But this guy Petty kind of tapped into it, and I think that's what skyrocketed him into popularity at the time. But for whatever reason, he disappeared. He didn't do that much work, and then disappeared. I think he worked on a creator-owned book called Boof, if I'm not mistaken. But his stuff always felt a little bit more cartoony than what Todd would do. A little bit more goofier than what Todd would do. And I feel like Todd's anatomy and his poses were better than Petty's, but just the finish of Petty's stuff was reminiscent of McFarlane. Like that feels totally like a Todd face here. The way he did the cape kind of feels like Todd. But his anatomy was a little bit wackier than what Todd would do. John says, should pronounce it Pedi. Okay, Pedi. Yeah, because Petty, well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Petty is not the best pronunciation. Supreme is great. What happens when Superman gets dementia story? Yeah, I never followed Supreme that much. But that is a cool idea. I don't know if this is part of it already, the dementia part already, or what. I feel like this is all Todd style with no structure whatsoever. It's just kind of like, I'm just going to draw a lot of hatch lines and a lot of detail in the hair. This is a weird rendition of the New Men, too, which was a short-lived series from the Extreme Universe. Pedi? Here's a black and white. Many of you guys know Art T-Bear's work. Look at that. Look how legendary he was back then already. Splitting Image. I think Petty worked on that. That's where that Boof character was. They were just cranking out so much stuff, and more than half of it isn't good. But that's why I picked up this book, was just because of his artwork. I don't see much of his artwork out there anymore, so it's kind of cool to run across it again. I'd never seen this book either. All right. Tim Miller says, I see it. Definitely some Turner in there too. Yep. Probably get some good crossover. Why those green pages? Oh, yeah. So they did this whole gimmick of like you had to collect coupons and then you would submit the coupon, and each coupon was in a different book. So this was their way of getting you to buy all their books. It was totally a Rob Liefeld Extreme Studios thing. So you found all these coupons in this different book, and you'd be forced to buy all these books. You would submit the coupons, all of them, I think 7 of them, and then you'd get a special, whatever, limited comic book. It's total gimmick. I never did it, but it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, well, I do want that limited edition book. How do I get it? You got to go collect. They do that in baseball cards and all sorts of collector's market. This kind of toys. You have to buy this toy to get this piece of a larger toy you make. All that kind of stuff. RT Bear. Boof. There it was. You know, it's the 90s when you see vibrant silver hair. That's right. Todd McFarlane is one of my favorite artists. He is one of the greatest. He really is. He was one of my favorite artists too. Torn Page is a terrible... I know. You'd have to like... I think maybe I had like... It was either a poster or a trading card or something that was in a book, and I had to like undo the staples and carefully pull it out as opposed to tearing it. Yeah, it's not a good idea. Unless you bought 2 copies. Of course, it's a Liefeld thing. They totally work, guys. They totally work. I never ripped out a comic page, even for a coupon. Well, do you guys say coupon or coupon? That determines... I'm going to make that a poll. Okay, wait. I'm going to make a poll. How do I do that? Poll. Aha. Start a poll. I'm going to say coupon or coupon. Coupon? Oh, wait. All right. Let me know. I just started a poll because I've heard it different ways, and I think it has to do with where you live. What do I say? A bunch of different coupon. I think I do the first one. Coupon. But I'm weird that way. That's also like drawer. Draws. I've heard drawer. Drawer or drawer? Star Wars. Yeah. Bureau. I don't know. There's a bunch. Oh my goodness. People are already saying it looks like coupon is winning 60% right now. Coupon. That's what Cranberry Landers says. Coupon. Awesome One says coupon. Make an option for either because I pronounce it both ways. Always making it complicated. They could sell comics pre-torn, call them distressed comics like jeans, acid washed comics. I think they do, like, for the value of comics, if you still have the coupon, I think it has more value for like collectors as opposed to those who tore it out. That poll is confusing. Is it? Coupon or coupon? I guess I should have put a Q. My bad. Yeah. Coupon, Timmy Mello says. I say coupon. Q for coupon. Coupon. I get mocked for the way I say drawing. Drawing, right? Drawing? Is that what you say, Katie? Drawing? Coupon is winning 71%. All right. This is another one I picked up while you guys are still voting, or people are jumping back and forth between coupon or coupon. XO Manowar. This is a classic cover for Valiant. This was kind of the flagship title for Valiant, I'd say, when they came out. XO Manowar, Joe Quesada cover, and they did this crazy foil cover on it. What a cool cover that is. I don't know why I never had this issue. I feel like I've seen it a million times and assumed I had this issue, but then realized I didn't. And I always thought it was just a Joe Quesada cover. But then when I saw it in the dollar bin, I didn't realize Joe Quesada did the artwork inside too, which is amazing. He also did the first 5 issues of Ninjak, which was also a Valiant title. But yeah, I just grabbed this for the Joe Quesada work. Jimmy Palmiotti was the inker on this, who is Shelby's favorite inker. Not. Talk to Shelby. Just mention Palmiotti's name in his chat and see how he responds. It's pretty extreme. But Jimmy Palmiotti and Joe Quesada created Ash, which was the book that I did a Comics Yeah, Comics Now with Marty. I think it was the first time I had Marty on stream, my friend Marty. But yeah, it's all tied together. I love Joe Quesada's work. Jimmy Palmiotti, he's a decent inker in my opinion. Shelby does not think so. But anyway, very cool to see him do the artwork in this. Joe Quesada is another one who he can render stuff and have great storytelling in his work. Love it. I was not a big fan of Exo Manowar necessarily. If Joe Quesada had drawn the whole thing, I probably would have been a bigger fan, but I think he just did this first issue just to get people in. Joe Quesada did great teeth. I love Joe Quesada's teeth, and oftentimes his teeth, when people had their mouths open, would have this like spittle. That was a classic Joe Quesada move, like spittle teeth. This is gross. This is like vomit teeth. Yeah, really cool. Looks like Elvis is here. No idea. This is awesome. Very awesome. Classic Joe Quesada at his peak. Arguably, the best inker on Joe Quesada was Kevin Nolan. And they worked on a Batman Azrael story, which is best Joe Quesada work I've ever seen because of Kevin Nolan's artwork, Kevin Nolan's inking. But anyway, this is really cool. I'm excited I picked it up. Like I said, I've seen this a million times in discount racks, back issue boxes, blah, 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 and assumed I had it, and then I realized I didn't. So to grab it for $1 was perfect. Gimmicky foil cover. All right, almost done here. Woo! Told you I got a lot. I got a lot. So it looks like, okay, it seems like all of you guys have voted. It looks like Coupon won. Coupon. Most people say Coupon. Really? 8 votes. 62% Coupon. As opposed to what I say, which is coupon. Coupon. You collect coupons. All right, then we're going to say one more poll. And that is, are we doing drawing, or drawing? Stupid. All right. Here's another book I picked up. This is a weird one. I have seen The Spider, very pulpy origins, and I don't know much about The Spider, but I really love this book. This is book 3 of something. Timothy Truman is the writer of The Spider, I'm assuming. This is published by Argosy Communications. Have no idea. I don't know if this is... Oh, Eclipse Books. I don't know if this is a public domain character or this is an original character by Timothy Truman. But the artwork is really cool, and it has this pulp horror kind of feel to it. But, you know, like the double guns thing. He's got a rapier. He's got a cloak, red mask. Definitely pulp feeling to it. But some cool artwork in this. With like bats, and it's great. So yeah, I got it solely for the art. And this, the coloring is definitely like a watercolor wash, which is very much like an Eclipse Books kind of thing. Eclipse Books, they would release books like this very like thin digest style book. They did this a lot, and I believe Eclipse was a imprint of, I want to say Marvel Comics, but it was like they would do other stuff, like the non-superhero stuff in Eclipse. Very cool. I don't know. I think this is like a web gun that he shoots out, Must be. Otherwise, why is he called the Spider? But you can't help but compare the Spider to Spider-Man. I want to say they had a crossover at one point. But he lives in a different time period. It feels like he's like an Indiana Jones kind of time period. Look at this cool bat, though. This bat character. That's fun. I just love... This is why I love dollar bins. You don't know what you're going to find. And because it's so cheap, you're willing to try out some new stuff. And this is something that I had no idea existed and was willing to try out. Just love the artwork in it. Oh, it looks like a psycho, the spider. Doesn't look like a friendly dude. Cool stuff. Look at these like no dialogue panels. It's great. Creepy. Death to the dealers of death. Look at this. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. Cut. Ow. Stop. And there he goes. Dead. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, spider. Chill out, dude. We even imprinted a spider on his forehead. Dang. It's not messing around. And he gets the girl. Anyway, a little extreme, but kind of cool. Look, they didn't count the pages right because they got a couple blank ones back here. That's not good. That's a waste. But I knew they did quite a few of these books. So, who is the spider? During the 1930s and 40s, the Spider pulp magazine stories. There you go. There's a film that followed. Spider begins to... All right, there you go. 1930s and 40s character, seems like. These are the important things we are sorting out here. Okay, so the poll says... I'm going to end this poll. Where are we at? The poll is 75% people say drawing, 25% drawing. I guess it's because Katie's here. Oh, man. Just all in fun. Put your cloths in your drawers. Clothes in your drawers. Yes. You don't say it wrong, Katie. We say it wrong, but there's just more of us here. Jeremy calls them intrusive R's. Drawing is correct for you, Katie. As intrusive as illegals at the border, John. Woo, that took a turn. Okay, I got one more book here. Awesome one's bringing in the phonetics here. Coupon or coupon. Yeah, both are correct. There we go. We're all correct, but just preference. Katie speaks proper English. That's right. She does. She came first. Her country did at least. So who are we to say? Who are we to say? Why was this? Did I accidentally hit return? Who's Rocky Ballesteros and why is he not saying anything? That's my favorite cover. Are we talking about the XO? I think the XO, right? Chicken ripping. Hello, governor. I wonder if I'll come home to England speaking American. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Keep with your accent you've got. Keep with it. Because it's better. Okay. Let's see. Hey up, Katie. It's hot out. In it. 82, cool. Yeah, it's still hot here. Bloody cold here, mate. In it. Yes. She's the 25%. That poll had 8 votes, so there was someone other than Katie. Math. You guys are awesome. Okay, this is the last book I'm going to talk about. And I do have to go soon. This one I found in a bookstore, used bookstore. I couldn't get to a comic book store one of the days. I think it was closed or it was too far. And I went to a used bookstore. They had very overpriced old comics there. This one wasn't too bad, the price on this one. It was more expensive than 60 cents. But this is a Steve Ditko series. that he did. Talk about old. This was published in 75. Look at how awesome this is. Steve Ditko, one of the greatest, Spider-Man artists and Doctor Strange artists. But he also worked on his own characters. I believe this guy is named Mr. A. This guy here. And it became this this morality tale. I love it. Ditko was always kind of weird and different with the stories and the way he told stories, but I love him fully embracing his own creator-owned stuff here. Like, look how he's using these letters. It's part of the storytelling here. You know, it's not just a sound effect. Like in this panel, it says, open your mouth and speak to him. Let him feel the impact of your argument. Let him see and feel your words. Destroy him. And like his words are really attacking this guy. I love that. That's like stuff you can only do in comics. That's this story right here. As the words are coming out and actually destroying the person. But also beautiful techniques, beautiful rendering. I almost feel like I should do a master study from one of these pages in this comics. They're all that good. Like this page is great. With the lettering, the inking, amazing. Ditko always had the greatest hand positions for Doctor Strange, like his fingers, like all the like weird finger movements Doctor Strange would do. That was all Ditko. But awesome stuff here. Look at this guy's teeth falling. So this was, from what I understand of the stories that he was writing, was very much like Ditko injecting his own like views on morality and dreams and all this kind of stuff. So like, look at this crazy weird actions happening. Cool stuff. So many good pages here to do a master study, don't you guys think? I do have, after Eisner, if I ever finish Eisner, I do have one artist already lined up I think I'm going to hit that I think you guys would be happy with. But don't you think this would be great for a master study, Ditko stuff? Such good pages. I could pick out like at least 6 great pages from this. Look at that. With the like chains over his head. I mean, there's a lot of talky here. I haven't read this yet, so, but I think it's just because he was so passionate about what kind of story he was telling here. There it is, like truth, justice, antitrust laws. Like, this is getting deep. Anyway, I was so happy to find this because it's not easy to find the compilation stuff, but I love that I found an actual comic of this. Cool pages. There you go. Wow. Like, this is even a weird name. Wah. Wah, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. 60 cents for that goodness. All right, let's see. Choose wisely which page you do. I know, right? Or which one I put in front of you guys, because you guys will pick the crazy one. Feels like a bit of a foreshadow to Black Bolt with the powers of destruction by speech. Maybe, yeah. It's possible. But it's like, it's funny that it's like literally speech. So it's like, it kind of fits in the Eisner world a little bit, where the words and the lettering were part of the storytelling. I've heard that Ditko is kind of way out there, or very like opinionated with his politics and his morality, or like his views on morality and whatnot. So I'm very curious to read this. I'm sure I'll be confused, possibly. Like, look how much words are on this page. That's a lot. But he's got something to say for sure. Something to say. Yes. The Talkie Talkie pages should not be in contention for consideration of master study. Just saying. Yes, but would I be right? I couldn't letter these. I wouldn't want to letter these. It'd be too much work. We'll see. We will see. But I love this, and it could be the next master study after the next master study that I do. I don't think any of the pages I voted for won. Big Boy Burgers works. Big Boy Burgers, you gotta lobby. Maybe you can work with Mark's music obsession, huh? Possible. You guys could work together. Filibuster. Gerrymandering. Whatever it's called. 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Whoa, that's cold. Will you enjoy the warmer weather? Is it cloudy? Is it cloudy in the UK? I always get this image that it's always cloudy, rainy in the UK. That's cold, but I actually would prefer it over the heat. Where am I at right now? Like I said, it's been warm. Today, right now, it's 76, so that's not bad. Yesterday, where I was, got over 100. Yeah, it's getting a little cooler. It'll get a little warmer again the weekend, but getting a little cooler. All right. It's night. Oh, that's right. It's night in the UK. That's right. Perfect follow weather. That's right. All right. So there we go. That was the Dollar Bin Bonanza. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Next up for me will be another, I'm planning/hoping of doing a master study stream tomorrow, probably during the day, I think, because I got to get going on more of those panels, and I got to catch up on the time I've missed the earlier part of this week. And then I'll catch up on the new Wednesday comics that I got this week, which were only 2. I'll push those into next week along with whatever books I pick up next week. But hope you guys enjoyed that Dollar Bin Bonanza, because it was really fun just seeing things that you wouldn't normally see on a regular basis in a comic book store and just finding the treasures. And it was really fun for me to connect with the 2 comic book owners at Comics Conspiracy and Chris's Comics. Hopefully videos coming for those guys soon. Comics Conspiracy will be first because I actually was able to film stuff there. Chris's Comics will take a little bit longer because I'll have to go there and film first and then video edit. But both of those guys were very kind, very nice, and very fun to talk to. And they were really open to having their videos promoted. So let's do that for them, you know. Let's promote the whole comic book store experience as much as we can. Don't forget about Invisible Jet Comics. My friend Chris, I haven't checked in with her recently, but I should. She's just talking about floods and fires and all that earlier in the stream. She's still recovering from that. Her store is recovering from that. So we just want to support her as much, just getting the word out, keep promoting, keep talking about her, keep her in people's minds as she gets back out on her feet. And anyway, it was great hanging out with you guys. John, Big Boy Burgers, Emo Trash, Katie, coming to America soon, Katie. Comrade Sammy, Shanth popped in here. Awesome One, Cranberry Langers, Timmy Mello, Ferris Comics. Woo! Mark's Music Obsession's mom. I said Ferris Comics, right? John. Cranberry Langers, how could I forget? Emo Trash, how could I forget? All of y'all's. It was great hanging out with you. Thanks for entertaining me, entertaining one another. And yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow for hopefully a drawing stream, because I got to get on that. We are at 343 subscribers. Tell your friends, like, subscribe. We are on our way to 350. I'm super excited about that. Woo! That was a lot of talking. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Have fun. Have a good Thursday. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.